There's plenty of things I've loved most in life. I can think of probably 12 to 20, but the top, say half dozen would be, well, number one, my wife, married to a beautiful woman. That'd be number one. Number two would be, it's hard to call, but I think it would be sport. I love sport, I love playing sport, I love watching sport. And then closely followed by that would be music. I love listening to music, I love watching bands, and I've been a musician since my high school days, and hence this beautiful guitar is one of mine here in the shot. Another one would be travel. I love travel, travelling all over the world. Karen and I have visited now about 45 different countries. Karen has worked in 17 different countries. I've worked in at least 12 different countries doing various speaking engagements or speaking at weddings and so on. And then let's go for the last one, is history. I love history. I love reading about history. I love going and visiting historical spots and learning about what happened in the days of old, particularly if it's related to the Bible and the New Testament in particular. I wrote 7 reasons to reconsider Christianity because I felt there are quite a few books that could possibly fit this agenda that I had, but they had dated. And so I wanted to write a fresh, modern book on the reasons people should actually consider Christianity either for the first time or for a second or third time if they're reconsidering it. And I think there's a lot of people who disregard Christianity on very bogus reasons. Christians love to say that they have a testimony on how they came to faith. It's very common amongst Christians to say that. I have a testimony, a story on why I came to have faith in Jesus. But I love to tell Christians that non-Christians have a testimony as well on why they don't have a faith in Christianity. And I have found over 30 years of ministry that the reason people disregard Christianity is just very shallow. A few years ago, when I was sort of starting to write this book, I was sitting in a pub all alone, penning my thoughts down, and then a group of about a dozen people came in and sat next to me in the pub, and I sort of began to eavesdrop on their conversation, trying to work out who they were. And then in this rare moment of boldness, I went up to them and I said, "Are any of you Christians here? Any of you go to church?" And only one among them said they do, and she was rather shy. The other 11 or so said, "No, we don't want to have anything to do with it." And I, for research reasons for the book, I said, "Tell me, why do you not believe? What is the number one reason you don't believe in the Bible or Christianity?" And the majority of them said there's just not enough witness to it. There's not enough testimony. It doesn't stack up with enough evidence. And then I asked them what they do. And it turns out they were all from a police academy. And so one of them said to me, "We're policemen and we look for evidence when we're building a case for a crime. I don't think there's enough evidence for who Jesus was and what he did." And then I asked him, had he read the Bible at all? And he sheepishly said, "No, I haven't." And then I pinned him back even further. "Have you read any kind of books on evidence for Jesus?" And he said, again, "No, I haven't." It just shows me that some people's testimony on why they don't have a faith is actually quite shallow. So this book is all about, look, why don't you reconsider Christianity? Reconsider some of the claims of Christianity, what it's all about. And hopefully that would move them along closer to becoming a Christian, or at least considering the story of Jesus to be true. There's two answers to that question on how long this book took me to write. The first one is about 33 years or so, and that's how long I've been in ministry. And over the years I've had the privilege of speaking in Aboriginal communities in Australia, to posh businessmen in Wimbledon, in London, and everything in between. All sorts of ages and backgrounds. And you just, over the years, you hear people's reasons why they won't consider Christianity something for them. And some of the answers that they give are fair enough in some ways, but others are just, it's very shallow, it's very, it's just related to one incident in their life, and then they won't touch Christianity ever again. So really this comes out of 30 odd years of experience. The other way of answering that question is this book took me about 2.5 years to write. And road test, I actually made this came out of a course that I was originally intending to write for non-Christians to come and have a glass of wine or whatever they wanted and hear a 30-minute talk from me. And it was originally 6 reasons, but then I came up with the 7th reason to reconsider Christianity. Well, for me, the most compelling thing about Christianity over the years, for my own self, is its truthfulness. I think it stands up historically. I think it stands up in terms of its truth, and I'm utterly convinced that it's real. These things happen in history, and as far-fetched as some of the stories of the Bible go, I know and understand that it sort of goes against what we would normally see in life. But having done the research, having looked at the evidence, I find it most compelling that the stories in the Bible are factual and true. Well, I started writing the book in early 2019, perhaps 2018 even. And between starting it and launching it, I was given the news that I have cancer. Cancer in the face, cancer in the jaw. And it was the most frightening news I'd just about ever had in my life. And I didn't take it too seriously at first. I didn't think it would be, I just had that still, I'm going to live till I'm 90 feel about it. This is just a hiccup in my life. And then as it got more serious, and I've had several operations and therapies to try and help me survive, it has totally made me rethink myself about the Christian faith and the Bible. Do I really believe that there is an afterlife? Because this cancer has got a hold of me, and by all accounts from the doctors, I don't have long to live. So it's caused me to road test my own faith and think about heaven. Is there life after death? What will it be like? The Christian faith says that we won't be running around in white 90s on clouds. It actually says that we'll live on this earth, restored, rebooted, and I will have a resurrected body without cancer, and there'll be no more tears, there'll be no more diseases like cancer or COVID, etc. But it's really caused me to rethink my faith, and as a result of that, I'm pleased to say, I am even firmer in what I believe. After I've reconsidered Christianity, I'm even more confident in my faith.